70% of people who smoke cigarettes report that they would like to quit if they thought they could. The success rate of quitting smoking when people try to go just cold turkey, just quit with no assistance whatsoever, they might tell their family and friends, hey, I'm quitting, that's it, is exceedingly low. It's 5%. Cancer diagnosis, I'm not smoking again despite the fear of the negative health effects. I'm not going to ever smoke again despite the financial cost, the health cost, but it's not to say that people cannot quit. In fact, they can. There are a couple of methods that have been shown to help people quit. Some are behavioral and some are pharmacologic. Prevent people from seeking nicotine through a cigarette or a vape pen. What I mean by that is people using a nicotine patch or nicotine gum or other nicotine delivery device that is not cigarettes and not vaping in order to maintain levels of nicotine in their bloodstream, which of course means maintain levels of nicotine in their brain and body to the same extent that they would if they were smoking or vaping, maybe even gradually taking down the total amount of nicotine in their brain and body by reducing the number or size of nicotine gum pieces that they ingest each day, or keeping the patch on for a shorter amount of time, or getting a lower dose patch that releases less nicotine total. So nicotine patch is going to be very effective for a week or so, but then switching to a nasal spray or switching to nicotine gum for about a week, which is going to change the kinetics of that nicotine absorption into the bloodstream and change the release of dopamine and other neurochemicals within the brain. That's going to keep the system intentionally off balance so that it never comes to expect one single pattern or amplitude of dopamine release. And that is a very powerful way for a, let's just call it a quitting method to work, because as I've always said, the most powerful schedule of dopamine is going to be this random intermittent reward. This is what's used in the casinos in order to take your money, and generally they do. On average, they take your money more than you take theirs, and they take more of it, not just more often, because they use this random intermittent schedule. The random intermittent schedule is one in which you don't really know when the peaks in dopamine are going to arrive, and so there isn't this expectation and craving, and then all of a sudden when dopamine is released, it's extremely high. That's how they get you to continue playing, even though basically you're losing money and your dopamine is dropping. They elevate it every once in a while. Nicotine replacement can be used in a similar way, but in a benevolent way in order to help you get over smoking or vaping by keeping the total amounts of dopamine variable around the clock. And by changing the amount of dopamine that's released, it seems to help people behaviorally and psychologically because they don't come to expect having a particular amount of dopamine in their brain and blood at any given time.